So why am I at the Alberta legislature? Let's go outdoors and find out. Did you know it's National Invasive Species Week? There are a number of threats to our land, rivers, lakes, streams, and of course wildlife here in Alberta. So I thought it would be a good idea to sit down and chat with Environment and Parks Minister Jason Nixon.
Well, I think it's just reinforcing the importance of keeping invasive species out of our province, particularly in our waterways. It's things like zebra mussels can cause significant consequences to our fish resources, cause consequences to recreation, and dire economic consequences if they get into our irrigation system. So just a good reminder of the importance of protecting our province from invasive species like zebra mussels. And good time for us to remind everybody to make sure the best way that we can stop that is by stopping it being transported on watercraft, and the need to clean and drain our boats and dry them before we go elsewhere. And we're proud of the work our department does in Alberta Environment around this issue, particularly our canine dogs, who are our frontline defense across our borders, making sure that we keep zebra mussels and other invasive species out of our province.
While we have been vigilant with watercraft inspections, there's always the possibility an invasive species like zebra mussels could get a toehold here in Alberta.
The reality is, though, sometimes it's a matter of time with these type of things. Doesn't mean that we should give up, but I actually instructed the department in the first months that I came into office to look at solutions in case something like zebra mussel got into our systems. And we've been working with the province of Saskatchewan around solutions around actually potash and different type of chemical solutions that will work well for the environment, but be able to combat zebra mussels if we do get them into our systems, particularly because of the economic consequences as well as the environmental consequences. So happy to say we continue with that work. We're going to do our best to keep that type of invasive species out of the province, but we're going to be ready if it does end up in our waterways.
Valued at close to $14 billion, Alberta's irrigation system could be put in jeopardy if zebra mussels somehow found their way into the infrastructure.
Every time I meet with our irrigation districts, they raise it with us. I mean, zebra mussel could have catastrophic consequences to us economically, to our second largest industry, the agriculture industry. So obviously, I mean, first and foremost is protecting the environment. But this is one of those cases where the environment and the economy are hand in hand, and we need to work together to make sure that we don't end up with these species inside our irrigation systems.
We also have to continue to monitor other invasive species, including carp and goldfish, which end up in our waterways due to being flushed down the toilet. And of course, we continue to test streams and rivers for the presence of whirling disease, which can have an impact on our native trout species.
Those of us who like to hunt and to fish, we know how precious that is, and we're the front line for that. And so we're depending on Albertans to help us do the important job we do, which is to protect this beautiful resource for our use now, but for future generations.